Attorney Better has a number item as well.
Mr. Better.
Thank you, Judge.
Honestly, go fuck yourself, sir. You don't say that, okay? You don't lose a trial where a jury acquits someone and finds them overwhelmingly not guilty and say, I gave my sincere obligation to look into this, and I'm telling you all I saw when she's guilty. Again, respectfully, go fuck yourself.
Swear again like that. That was, you know, no, I mean, whatever. That was, I shouldn't have done that.
A few moments later.
You, as a prosecutor, have got to be out of your fucking mind.
Nose.
Dude, Jimmy, look at those ears.
The ears don't bother me as much.
No, I don't trust a man. I don't trust a man with a lobe like that. No,
really,
not a fucking chance.
The mouth is butthole to me.
Very thin, paper thin.
The nose.
Oh, the nose.
The brows.
Well, listen, I will tell you though, I kind of like a fucked up nose on a guy.
I like a big old honker. I like a big nose.
Old nose. Give me that big bitch. You know,
yeah,
like, I'm into it.
Come over here, cluck cluck.
Yeah.
I see some chickens that went moving on up in my biz, cluck cluck. You gotta be with the kids, the kids, the kids, the kids, the kids, kids.
And I go, oop, clutch, clench, kegel. We did it all. And I go, oh, and what happened? And they go, well, we just got 4,000 plus pages, bitch. And I said, stop it. Show me it. Take me to Unimpound Town immediately, if not sooner. So what happens?
The bitch is here.
Why are you at a football game? Are you a Fonz correspondent?
Well, no, because it's only for men over 30. Okay? Have a great night, boys. Fuck off.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Hey, Blues Clues, motherfucker.
Good morning, loveys. Happy Sunday. It is August 24th, 2025. And we are here for our Sunday service. May the Lord be with you and also with you. Lift up our hearts. Yes, we're doing all of it. We're lifting up our hearts today. And babes, yesterday, what happens? I'm doing a little searching on the World Wide Web. And I come across a video from Court Chopped TV. And I'm like, oh, what's this? Oh, tell me more. It says the Kevin Spacey trial, Alan Jackson, defense attorney, Mass versus Kevin Spacey Fowler. And this was in Nantucket in 2019. Now, we knew about this. All of us know, right? We're like, okay, I think I know what happened. But did I? No, I didn't. And there is so much to unpack in this that it sent me down a rabbit hole. A rabbit hole, a turtle hole. I don't know. I was in a hole of unknown origin, and I am just going. And I'm looking through someone who I respected and was beloved in Massachusetts. Like, if you grew up in Massachusetts, you know Heather UNRUH. She was a anchor woman. And her son was allegedly groped, very serious material this morning for church. And it was horrifying. It was allegedly at this Nantucket kind of restaurant, and he was allegedly fondled. And this is Heather UNRUH's son, right? He's like a young man, and by Kevin Spacey, a celebrity. So this was big doings. Now, was I following at the time? Not much. I only knew peripheral things, right? Which I knew that Kevin Spacey was found, or the case was dismissed rather. And I knew that Alan Jackson and Liza Little were his attorneys. Well, I didn't see any of these. I didn't see what happened. What had happened and the background. And when you correlate what was done in this case, it is going to blow your mind. You're going to be Judd Welchering all over the place. And by Judd Welchering, I mean exactly what I'm saying.
But what happens when I spread my load out, when I lay on my bed like this?
Yeah. Ew. Ew. Okay. So now tell me what you think. Have you seen this? Kelly Garcia says it was bullshit and it ruined Kevin Spacey's career. I mean, seriously, right? This is, and thank you very much, Jess. Miss Jess MB says, warning, this is an adult discussion today. Nurse Kim is not responsible for offending. I'm going to be playing and I'm going to be giving my takes on it. And then I have a couple of clips that we're going to play because I'm putting shit together here, babes. Like I am Columboing this. Am I Inspector Gadget? I don't know. But there is so much here and it is very serious. And you know that I'm going to take it. And I mean no offense to anybody. And all I'm trying to do is say, holy shit. Any kind of alarm should be going off in your head of what happened here is very concerning for citizens of Massachusetts. For, again, another example kind of who knows who and what the result was here changed the trajectory of lives for multiple families and changed case law moving forward. So holy shit, giddy up. And we're going to watch this together. Be prepared. I have my pearls. Are we clutching? Yes. Are we going to be clenching? 100%. Are there going to be Kegels? I'm doing one right now. Can't tell me shit. Okay. Good morning, Amber. And this is happening. Oop. Terry says all the small towns in Mass are corrupt. Okay. Let's absolutely get into this, babes. Add to the stage. I'm little now. Okay, ready? Okay. So now let me give you some background. If you don't know, this right here, this is Mitch Garabedian. Okay, you're going to say, who the fuck is Mitch Garabedian, Kim? He is an attorney who is highly respected in Massachusetts. He took down basically the Catholic Church. He was the Catholic Church SA scandal and abuse. And he represented the William Little, who is Will Little, and he was the son of Heather Unruh, our beloved anchor from Massachusetts, from Boston, WCVB5. Okay.
Understanding the government as a forensic image of Will Little's phone, the original phone,
which they turned over. Yes.
Yes, and which has more information than I have on who I've been able to retrieve.
You know what I want to know? Miss Unruh turned the phone over to you folks, and you gave her a receipt for the phone when you received it. At some point, the phone was turned back over to somebody because you indicate you no longer possess it.
That's correct.
I would think that protocol would dictate that when you turn that phone back over to somebody, you get a receipt from that person saying, "Okay, we have the phone. Thank you very much."
I would not agree.
This is the prosecutor. And they're talking about the imaging of the cell phone of the accuser in this case being turned over to police by his mother, Heather Unruh.
With that.
You don't agree that that's the protocol, or you just don't have a receipt?
No, I don't agree that that is the protocol.
Okay, well, you know what the protocol is. It would seem that would be the logical thing to do. Can you tell me? You don't. So you're indicating you don't have a receipt when the phone was turned back over to somebody. Is that right, sir?
That is correct.
Okay. But do you have some documentation in your file, in the DA's file, that indicates to whom the phone was turned over and when?
What happened was there was a report that was generated.
What had happened was, is this his what, if anything?
Concerning turning the phone over to the Trooper Donovan is here today.
Yep.
We requested to produce him. He's here. And the phone was obtained by the Commonwealth on Wednesday, November 29th. It was then turned over for the, and again, I apologize if I used the wrong terms, but for the forensic download, the information we provided to the defendant on December 14th, that was done on the 15th, and it was returned to the Littles by Trooper Donovan on December 18th. That's putting the phone in the possession of the Commonwealth for approximately 20 days. Trooper Donovan remembers turning the phone over to either Will Little, well, it wasn't Will Little, it was either Will Little 2 or Will Little 3, either the father or William Little, the complaining witness in the case.
Sure.
And that would have been, as I said, on Monday, December 18th, 2017.
If the phone was returned, it was given not to the complainant. The complainant's father.
Like, I mean, that would be the logical starting point. Who got the phone and when? It appears that
No, Kelly, it's not Judge Crop.
it's set 12/18/17, but nobody knows to whom the phone was given. There's no documentation, although you indicated you saw something. It was something.
If I may,
Okay. So just as to give a background also, Levies, the phone was taken for the forensic download imaging, and it was allegedly returned to the Little family. The phone is gone. It's gone, babes, by the time they are here in court. It's nowhere to be found. It's missing. It's disappeared. It Houdini'd. The evidence has Houdini'd. Also, hi, Mrs. Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Woo! Do you like Nantucket? That's AJ's wife.
I think he's referring to the police report that I was talking about. There's no receipt or anything. There was a police report that was generated by Trooper Donovan, and I'm sure that must be what he's referring to.
And did that report name someone who received the phone?
I don't believe it did.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
I'm going to give everybody a chance to speak so we can.
Let me fill this out just a little bit.
Sure.
Trooper Donovan did, in fact, write a report. Where's Trooper Donovan? We've met, and I don't.
I'm sorry?
Is he in the court? Is Trooper Donovan in the court?
No, he's here. He's in the back.
He's not in the courtroom. Okay, I just didn't want to be rude and not acknowledge him because I've met him and I didn't recognize him here in the courtroom. Trooper Donovan did, in fact, write a report about having returned the phone to Nick Little. He specifically said to Nick Little.
But they're both named Nick.
Father is the son.
All right.
He said, well, actually, in his report, he said Nick Little or Will Little. He's not sure which of the two. They were both home at the time, and he remembers it because that's the date that he interviewed Kyla, the daughter. However, this report that I'm referring to was generated June 10th, 2019. This is 2 years after the fact. The court instinctively went to the point, what is the protocol for the government to maintain a chain of custody for an item of evidence that you're either receiving from or returning to an individual? Of course, there's a protocol that should be in place. If there's not one, there should be. And if there's not one, we end up in a disaster like this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does this not give you a little bit of feels about we don't know where anything is and we have no reports to show you? 2 years after the fact, you have Trooper Donovan writing a report on June 10th, 2019. Now, this is July of 2019. And he's writing this report saying, yeah, I know that I returned the phone that has all of the evidence of this alleged SA of any communications that is needed because it's literally a he said versus he said as the only witness. And this absolutely falls apart. It's fucking bananas, babes.
Because nobody knows what happened. The UNRUHs are saying the government still has it.
Interrupt, but he interrupted me, indicating that when I said it was returned to one of the two Littles, that was incorrect, that there was a named Little that it was returned to. And I think he just said that it wasn't a named Little it was returned to. It was one of the two.
Will.
I got it.
And that's what I said.
Those are two names.
So I don't understand what he's talking about now. There's no question before him.
Gents, I got it. You're both going to have a chance to address me fully, and then we'll put the witnesses on that.
Absolutely.
That hopefully will clarify some of the
Absolutely. If I can just finish this point.
Go ahead.
There is, according to the government's discovery, their disclosure to us, there is no receipt that is concomitant to this particular report that suggests that Nick Little or Will Little ever received the phone. The government can't point to any documentation that follows or tracks the location of that phone. And now that it's missing, it's on them. The UNRUHs are saying the government never gave it to us back, or at least we don't remember ever getting it back from them. The clear suggestion being they still have it. The government's saying, of course we returned it. No, they're pointing fingers at each other and there's no receipt or documentation. And guess who loses because of this? That would be us, because we're entitled to the phone. And all that I appreciate, Mr.
Babes, let's throw concomitant into our vocabulary. Are we ready? Concomitant means naturally accompanying or associated. She loved to travel with all its concomitant worries. Wow. Oh.
Garabedian's efforts to maintain or obtain a forensic download of a MacBook, another phone, a second generation phone, a third generation, or a fourth generation. None of that answers the central question, which is where is the actual phone? That's what we want, and we still don't have it.
Well, so what may flow from that is that if the phone is not produced and it's beginning to look like it will not show up, so there are consequences.
Yes.
It could. I'm not suggesting they will, but they could.
Are you not obsessed? Look at him. I'm obsessed. You know how I feel. Is he over 70? Yes. Is his beautiful locks speaking to me? Yes. A full head of white hair and a bow tie? Stop it. Thank you, Judge Barrett.
Depending upon whether the Commonwealth had a duty and it was breached, or whether something else occurred. Again, I'm not making a decision that I wouldn't be surprised that after we hear from everybody that there's a motion filed requesting sanctions, and then we'll see what happens from there. So I'm inclined to actually, I think I bring the trooper up first, because he can tell us whatever he can tell us about the phone being returned. But I don't want to cut off your opportunity, Mr. Glennie, to address me further. Certainly you can address me after we've heard from everybody. But is there anything more you want to say, sir, before we bring up?
No.
The questions will be restricted to the whereabouts of the phone and the condition of the phone. All right. So the questions will be limited. And however, the condition of the what if anything might have been deleted. And the reason I say that is because if the court finds and if sanctions are requested, part of what the court needs to consider is whether or not this was an important piece of evidence that now is missing.
Yes.
And what if any sanctions should flow from that. Again, I'm not telling you that I'm going down this road, but this is relevant information. I don't want to bring everybody back here to have a further hearing. I want to deal with it today. Anything further, folks, before we bring the trooper in? So I'm going to allow, obviously, Jackson, I'm going to allow you to go first. And Lenny, you may not have questions.
Jackson.
Obviously, you can talk to these people outside the court, but if you want to ask questions, you can do that. Garabedian, I appreciate you being here and giving us the information. But with respect to the questioning, that's not something you have any standing to do. But please be seated, as we may come back to you on other matters. Can we bring the trooper in, please?
All right, here's Trooper Dupa.
Good morning, still.
Listen to this.
All right.
This
Identify
is so
yourself, please, for the
juicy,
record.
babes. All
Trooper
of it.
Gerald Donovan, stay please.
Okay, Jackson, go ahead. Do you want to inquire?
Thank you. Trooper Donovan, thanks for coming and joining us this morning. You're the lead investigator on the case before the court, the Commonwealth versus Fowler, correct?
I was, yes.
And you interviewed William Little for the first time on November 22nd, 2017, correct?
That's correct.
There was a report, at least one report, that suggested that it conducted in 2016. That was a typo in the report. In fact, the first time you ever made contact with William Little was 2017. Is that right?
That's right.
And your understanding is the first time Officer Kelly from the Nantucket Police Department ever made contact with him was also 2017, correct?
That's correct.
All right. In preparation for that meeting, you read Officer Kelly's report. Is that right?
That's right.
They were in the form of screenshots. He sent contemporaneous text messages that he claimed were taken on the night of the incident in the form of a screenshot to Officer Kelly, correct?
Yes.
And you reviewed those before your interview with him, obviously.
I believe I did, yes.
Okay. And made those part of your report, as a matter of fact, didn't you?
Yes.
At some point, you realized that there was data on that phone that was central to your investigation, correct?
I wanted some information from the phone, correct?
Why is that? Why would you want data from the phone?
Because he told me that he had used his phone and that there was information such as the contact of Mr. Spacey, things of that nature. If they were on his phone, I wanted to have it.
And the screenshots would not necessarily be the best evidence of that, correct? It would be the data on the phone.
The phone would be the preference, yes.
In other words, as an investigator, you want to go right to the source, the unadulterated source of the information, if you can, don't you?
I would want the information from the phone. That's correct.
All right. Did you inform Will Little that you wanted information from his phone?
Yes.
Did you have a conversation inform Heather Unruh, Will Little's mother, that you also wanted information from that phone?
Yes.
What about Nick Little, William Little's father? Did you indicate to him that you were interested in data from the phone?
I don't remember speaking with Nick, mostly Will and Heather.
And you made it abundantly clear to both of them that there was data on the phone that you were interested in, you wanted to recover, correct?
I asked them if we could, yes, have consent to look at their phone. That's correct.
Perfect. As a matter of fact, you got a consent form.
I did.
That's the document that I was referencing just a second ago. You recognize that document?
I do. This is a consent form. I'll have people who are cooperating with the police sign in order to access the information on a digital device.
Does it have any names that you recognize on it?
It does.
Does it have your name?
It does.
And it also has Heather Unruh's name, correct?
It does.
What's the date of this document, sir?
The date of the document is November 29th, 2017.
Is that the date that you received from Heather Unruh consent to retrieve her phone and do a document or do a data dump from the phone?
Yes.
Okay, so she obviously had control of the phone at the time?
Yes, they had the phone in their possession.
When they say they, I want to be a little bit more specific. She had the phone in her possession, correct?
That's correct.
When you visited her, Will Little was not there, was he?
He was not.
He did not turn the phone over to you. She did, correct?
Heather Unruh turned the phone over to me.
And she also indicated, I'm sorry, I stepped on your words. Could you repeat that one more time?
Heather Unruh gave me the phone.
And she also indicated when she gave you that phone that she had access to the data on that phone, correct?
She gave me the phone with the data on it.
Okay.
Do I understand your question?
It's an awkward question on my part. I apologize. If I walk over and grab your phone, I can hand that phone to the judge. If I walk over and grab your phone and I've got the password and can get into the data, and I hand that phone to the judge. In other words, she had access to the data vis-a-vis a password so that she could get into the phone.
Yeah.
That's correct. It's on the consent form.
And she relayed that password to you. You anticipated my question.
Yes.
Okay. So there's no question that on the date in question, November 29th, Heather Unruh not only had sole possession of the phone, but she also had access to the data on that phone.
She did.
Yes, by having the password.
And if in
That
fact,
answer your question?
that is my question. And so if in fact, Donovan, she wanted to get into the data, I don't know, send a text message on that phone, she could have done that, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Right. And if she wanted to, I
A
don't know,
little bit more complicated than that, but yes.
but she could get on the phone
Correct.
and use it as her own.
Yes.
And she could delete things from the phone if she wanted to.
If she had access to the phone, she could do whatever she wanted with the phone.
As a matter of fact, Trooper Donovan, she indicated to you at that time that she had in fact altered the data on the phone before she did.
She said she had deleted some frat boy activities, something along that line.
Now, I want everything inside of you. Loveys, we've talked about our intuition, and we have talked about, as women, us needing to listen to that little voice, right? The fact that Heather Unruh, the mother of the complainant in this case, deleted what she called frat boy activities should make your spidey senses tingle. What is frat boy activities that you wouldn't want the police to see on your son's phone? I was very uncomfortable by the fact that this Mass State Trooper thought that that was okay, no problem. You are accusing Kevin Spacey of essaying your son, of groping him at a public restaurant. And yet, a woman of high standing in the public, like news anchors around here, Chet and Natalie Curtis, it is like they're institutions. I think that I believed for a small amount of time that Harvey Leonard, chief meteorologist, could have run for president. My grandma, Nana Phyllis, obsessed with that man. I wanted to be Cindy Fitzgibbons. Okay, still do, actually. Looking incredible, Cindy. How you doing? And it's just jarring to me to hear that there was such a blunt conversation of frat boy activities. And he was like, yeah, totally. Because what I think of frat boy activities is not just drinking alcohol, is not just whatever. I unfortunately associate frat boy activities with not great things happening to girls sometimes. So what was there?
Did you inform at any point, Trooper Donovan, to Will Little, did you inform Will Little that he should not in any way manipulate, delete anything from the phone that you had, that you were interested in?
No, I never did that.
Court Chopped, also incredible content. I have put, or I'm going to put your link into this description. Thank you so much. This is incredible.
You never told him, keep the phone in as pristine a condition as possible. Don't go deleting things before you give it to him.
No.
Don't you think that might have been a wise instruction to give Will Little?
Objection.
What? Go ahead.
Cause of speculation. You
Well,
didn't do it.
you know what?
Does
You
it?
can answer it. Go ahead.
I didn't do that. Will Little was cooperating with the state police. I didn't foresee him deleting anything that would be a hindrance to my investigation.
But now in retrospect, that might have been a smart thing to do. Tell him, don't delete anything, correct?
Sure, there's a lot of things in retrospect that would be great.
Right. Did you tell Heather Unruh, don't delete anything from the phone?
I didn't.
Same question about Heather. In retrospect, you think that might have been a wise decision to tell her, don't delete anything from the phone?
Sitting here now, sure.
All right. And in fact, in point of fact, Trooper Donovan, she indicated she did delete certain items and she described those as, what did you call it? Frat boy activities?
Yes,
Did you ask her why she deleted these quote unquote frat boy activities?
I didn't.
Did you understand, given the fact that she admitted to you having deleted certain data on that phone before she handed it over, that there was data on the phone that she did not want the government to see or have access to?
Yes, my understanding was that she deleted frat boy activities that she didn't want us to see.
And you took her at her word, Trooper Donovan, that it was just, and I'm putting quotation marks around it, just frat boy activities.
I did.
Did you investigate further exactly what the data was that she had altered and deleted?
I looked at the phone, if that answers your question.
Actually, did you, if it's deleted, you looking at the phone's not going to do much good, right?
Well, I can see some deleted items and I can see things that basically weren't deleted that looked like frat boy activities. So my first thought was probably not the best job of deleting things.
Especially if they weren't frat boy activities, but were text messages or otherwise, right?
Well, my answer to the question is in regards to frat boy activities. I did see there are deleted things on the phone, correct?
And those deleted things go beyond just simply frat boy activities, don't they? According to the data extraction report.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, the screenshots that Will Little, those original screenshots that he provided to Officer Kelly, those include some significant deletions, correct? Of the text messages from the night in question.
Which screenshots?
There's three sets of screenshots, three JPEGs, if you will, that were sent to Officer Kelly. Those are the JPEGs that you reviewed before interviewing Will Little, according to you.
Yes.
Those screenshots themselves include deletions from the night in question. Those text conversations have deletions having been removed according to the forensic data report, correct?
I think there are deletions within the text, yes.
And do you know if it was Will Little or if it was Heather Unruh who performed those deletions and alterations of the data?
I do not know.
Did you ask?
I did not.
A couple of more points, Trooper Donovan, on that.
I don't know who deleted the information, and I didn't ask. This is our Mass State Police who are attempting at this time to criminally convict Kevin Spacey of SA on a young man, but you didn't ask for this. I'm speechless. This has had me all the way fucked up since I watched it.
On the issue of the deletions, you did not memorialize in any report at the time, consistent with the recovery of the phone, the fact that Heather Unruh had admitted to you deleting items off of the phone.
Correct.
As a matter of fact, you didn't do that until when?
2 weekends ago?
2 weekends ago from today's date.
I don't remember the date of the report, but I did it recently.
May I approach briefly? Yeah. Take a look at a copy of that document. Tell me if you recognize it.
I do.
How do you recognize that, sir?
This is my report related to my conversation with Heather when I picked up the phone, and the date of the report is June 2nd, 2019.
Great.
He was 18, Val, and in 2016, on July 8th, when he alleged this occurred, it was at a restaurant in Nantucket. He was 18 at the time, and he was 21 in 2019.
That refreshes your recollection that it was actually June 2nd of this year, a couple weeks ago, that you actually, for the first time, memorialized the fact that Heather Unruh admitted having altered or deleted the phone before handing it to you.
Correct.
Sorry, altered or deleted data from the phone before handing it to you.
Correct.
Would you consider the fact that data was altered or deleted from the phone before you were handed the phone a relevant event in your investigation? Relevant fact in your investigation?
I think ideally I would have liked to have had the phone July 9th, 2016, closer to the event.
Sorry, go ahead.
Within that time frame, anything could happen to the phone. When people go through their phones all the time. I think July 9th would have been the best time to have the phone. I get the phone in December. There's so many different things that could happen. I have a mother who's giving me the phone. She wants to delete some frat boy activities. If she had said I deleted things related to this investigation, that would have been a different story.
So you took her at her word?
I did.
Had no reason to believe that she might, I don't know, fib a little?
Okay, fib a little. That was gentle, AJ. Okay, you gentle soul. I cannot. You're telling me, Trooper Donovan, fuck directly off. Stop it. Stop it immediately, you dink. Oh, yeah. Well, if she told me that she committed a crime and she deleted evidence related to this case, clearly I would have looked into it. But she told me she didn't. Hello. We're not dumb. Ew. And High Court chopped. He did tell Kevin Spacey he was 23. And thank you so much for this incredible, incredible video. I'm putting your link directly into this description. And your work is amazing. Thank you so much.
To the lead investigator on issues related to her son's phone.
I didn't think that Heather Unruh would be lying to me.
Oh, you
Yes,
didn't?
I did take her at her word.
But now you know that there were data on the phone in addition to just frat boy activities, whatever that is. It was deleted, correct?
You can see on the phone that things have been deleted.
So
All
now,
sorts of things.
Let me ask you now. You said at that time you didn't think that Heather Unruh would lie to you.
Correct.
You going to change your opinion now?
No, I don't think she lied to me. I've seen, obviously you can't see what's been deleted if it's completely gone, but you can still see items that have been deleted that remain on the phone. I didn't see anything there that caused concern that would be exculpatory for your client. I just saw things that have been deleted.
How about the text conversation from the night in question
With whom?
with the young lady whose initials are MD?
Okay.
How about those deletions?
Okay, you can see that.
So in fact,
Okay, now this is going to get a little bit more uncomfortable. There is a young lady that goes by the initials MD. And there is a reason that Alan Jackson does everything, loveys. Every single thing, everything he says in front of a judge, in a court, on television, any filing he files, he uses the initials of this young lady. And there is another group chat that the complainant, Will Little, is in. And AJ has the trooper name every single one of them. Why? Because they were of age. And he makes sure to say that. My heart, this was the moment that my heart sunk into my body. Because if you take it in a way in which I think anybody that is listening would, that you are using the initials of an underage girl, and what conversation was had by Will Little with her at this time, I clutched my pearls and I get upset.
But I don't know who deleted that.
But who are our two choices?
Well, what I was trying to make the point of earlier is that July 9th would have been, excuse me?
That's my question to you. Nothing else.
Okay, it could have been Will or it could have been Heather.
It was either Will Little or Heather Unruh, correct?
I just said that, yes.
May I have just a moment, Your Honor?
No, thanks, Your Honor.
There's another set of data, Trooper Donovan, that I'd like to ask you very briefly about. We've talked about the conversation between MD and Will Little. There's another set of data that was text messaged, it was screenshot over to Officer Kelly. It included what I refer to as group text. I don't know how else to describe it. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
And you obviously reviewed the forensic data report as well.
I did.
All right. So the data report is from I don't have my phone, but the data report is actually something that's supposed to mirror the phone, correct?
No, not necessarily.
You just made my point for me. It's supposed to, but it doesn't necessarily always happen.
Well, you've said that term mirror image. That's not a term that's used. So
Okay.
I say no because
That
it's an
actually
incorrect
is?
term. It's a
Okay.
data extraction.
What term would you use for what happened to the phone?
As far as when the phone is, to use a term dumped, so to speak. So the data is extracted from the phone. It's not a forensic action because the phone is still working. There's things going on in the background. You have to manipulate the phone in such a way to access the phone. So it's no mirror image. That's a term that is not used. So getting back to the texts, those texts from the screenshot, I'd say they're a little bit different than from what's on the phone that you can see that has been deleted.
And in fact, the forensic data reports use your phrase, the forensic data or the forensic extraction report rather.
Yes, the data extraction.
The data extraction does not contain the group texts that were screenshotted over to officer, correct? Those are missing from the data extraction.
I'd have to look at it again. I might be thinking of a different group text.
There is if I were to suggest to you, query, there are text messages in the conversation between Will Little and MD on the night in question that includes the.
Familiar with that one?
You're familiar, you agree. Those have been manipulated and altered.
Yes, it appears that some of the parts
Why
of the conversation,
would we
yes.
manipulate and
There's
alter that?
also a set of group text messages that are in the screenshot. So clearly at some point they were on the phone because Will Little sent that to Officer Kelly, and the data extraction does not include those. They're missing from the data extraction.
I'd have to look at it again. I mean, it's tough to memorize somebody's phone.
I understand.
As far as, because I'm thinking of another group text very similar to that one. And, I'd have to look at it with you, honestly, to answer that question.
Let me pose it as more of a
All right. So then he's going to go that he just talks about all of that and him not doing his job, basically. Oh, here we go. Now we've got Will.
of July 7th and 8th. Did you engage in text conversations with any individuals?
Yes, I did.
There's been an individual whom we have named MD as a set of initials, and I'd like to show some deference for that naming, if you wouldn't mind. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do.
That's a female?
Correct.
Did you engage in text conversations with MD that night?
Yes.
Did you also have text conversations with other individuals in a group text format?
Yes.
Who are those individuals?
There are 7 of them.
Can you name them for me, please?
Yeah.
You want to stick with initials in this case, or I don't
Not
know?
in this case. I think everybody's over the age of 18, and
All right. Can you have the name, sir?
Yeah. So Will McMillan,
okay,
Jack Henderson,
okay,
Henry Birmingham,
got it,
Jake Doherty,
all right,
John Hargraves,
okay,
Brandon Minor,
MINOR,
ER.
ER, okay.
Is that 7?
Let's see. I think that's 6.
And Kevin Boland.
Okay, got it. There was a back and forth conversation between yourself and MD during the course of that evening, correct?
Correct.
A running commentary, if you will. Is that right?
Yes.
There was also a running commentary between yourself and the group that you just described, correct?
Correct.
That running commentary included text messages as well as some Snapchats. Is that right?
Yes.
And snaps, describe for us what snaps are in your.
He pretends he doesn't actually know what Snapchat does and that it actually goes away after you send it.
Communications at all. Person to person, text messages back and forth to your mom, emails back and forth, telephone calls, smoke signals.
Any communication with my mother? Yes.
How many times would you tell the court? How many times would you estimate you spoke about this incident with your mother? Spoke or communicated with your mother about this incident?
I'm really not sure.
Okay, now let me go back. Let's see if we can estimate. I don't want you to guess. We can at least estimate. You were there, we weren't. Was it more than 5 times, you think, in that year and 3 months?
More than 5 times? Yes.
More than 10 times?
Like I said earlier, it was a long time ago. I'm really not sure.
You discussed the fact that you had text messages with your mother.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, your mother asked to see the text messages, didn't she?
I don't know.
Before we get to her, she's just waiting out in the hall. She testified too. Is it your testimony that you don't know whether your mother ever asked to see your phone and those text messages about the incident involving Kevin Spacey? You have no idea.
Okay, objection, unless this is limited to him, unless she's talking about, she said to him.
I'm talking about conversations with your mother, Mr. Little, about your phone, specifically as it relates to the allegations July 8th, 2016 against Kevin Spacey.
Are you asking specifically if she requested to see them from me?
Did you ever show her your phone?
Yes.
How many times?
I don't know.
Did you show her your phone because she asked to see your phone? Or did you show her your phone because you said, Mom, look at my phone?
Once again, I am not sure of the nature of how it came up, but it came up.
Did she see the phone before you went to Officer Kelly?
I'm not sure.
Did your mother ever express any concern to you about the nature of the text messages that were on your phone before you turned that phone over to Officer Kelly, before you contacted Officer Kelly?
Do not specifically remember if she had any concerns.
Did you ever talk to your mother about deleting any of the embarrassing text messages from that night?
I do not recall ever speaking to her about deleting any messages that night.
What was the reason that your mother wanted to see the phone? Why did she say she was interested in seeing the phone?
I don't remember her reasoning, but like I stated earlier, I'm not sure if she requested it or if it just came up.
Well, if she didn't request it and it just came up, and I'm not being coy or flip, I'm just trying to drill down on what the actual facts are. If she didn't request it and you told her you wanted to see the phone, why did you ask her to look at the phone?
I didn't say that I asked her to look at the phone.
Or they asked to see it. One of the two. There's really no other middle ground. Which was it?
I do not remember. It was a long time ago.
And you now say that you don't remember if she expressed any concerns about what was actually on the phone.
Correct.
Did she have your password?
I might have given it to her at some point, but I'm not sure at that time that she had it.
You definitely gave it to her, Will. Okay. You gave her the password because she looked in your nightstand, grabbed your old phone. This was an iPhone 5S. He had already had the 10. Again, this is back in 2019. And the plot thickens.
She didn't have the password at the time that she first saw the data. You would have had to have opened the phone for her so that she could review the data.
If that was the case, that would be correct.
Did you point her to the text messages on the night in question between yourself and MD?
Once again, I don't recall.
Did you point her to the text messages among yourself and the 7 individuals on the group text?
I do not recall.
Do you remember that she actually did, but however she got to it, do you remember her actually looking at the text between you and MD?
At which time are we speaking?
Before the phone was turned over to the police, Mr. Will.
I'm not sure if she looked at it at those specific screenshots or strings of messages, but not with me.
Not with you?
I did not look through them with her.
You never saw her look through the phone at the text messaging between yourself and MD on the night in question?
I was at school at the time that the phone was handed over.
That is true. That is all
It's
true.
a regular event.
Do you think you saw the contents of your phone before you went to the police in this case?
I'm not sure.
You've also spoken to Mr. Garabedian, correct?
Correct.
Did you ever show him the phone or hand him the phone?
I never personally showed him the phone. I never personally handed him the phone.
So to your knowledge, well, let me rephrase that. You never had anything to do with handing or giving Mr. Garabedian that phone ever. It was never in his possession based on anything you did, correct?
Correct.
Okay. On October 31st, let's talk about the interview that you did with Officer Kelly. Okay?
All
October
Hallows
31st, 2007. You reached out to him and you had an interview telephonically, I think, correct?
Correct.
You provided him with what you claim to be an oral narrative of the events of that evening. Is that right?
Yeah.
But during that oral narrative, you never mentioned any text messages, group chats, nothing until he asked, were you texting that night? Was there any text communication, et cetera? At which point you
Diane Catt, I believe his mom was a local news reporter. Diane Catt, she is a legend. Heather UNRUH is an institution. She resigned right after these allegations from her son came out. And then she went to go live on Nantucket and was an artist formerly known as news anchor Heather UNRUH. And interestingly enough, in my deep dive into the turtle hole, okay, I was like, am I an investigator? What am I doing? I find out that on June 25th, there was a little TikTok of Heather UNRUH back in front of the camera doing her, on the scene news anchoring. She was reporting from the scene of something, of what, I don't know. But she took about, 8 years off and was doing nautical artwork on Nantucket.
admitted, oh yeah, there's some text somewhere. That's how that went, correct?
Correct.
In other words, had he not specifically asked you about text messages, You didn't mention it,
I would have mentioned them.
but you hadn't until he asked, correct?
As far as I am aware, yes,
You told him about texts between you and MD, right?
I believe so.
And you also told him about group texts that you had with the 7 others.
Yes.
That was the foundation for what you emailed him later on November 2nd that I showed you earlier. Those 3 JPEG, meaning photo screenshots, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Little, before you sent those screenshots, did you in any way change, delete, manipulate, or alter any of those text messages, either between you and MD or you and the group?
I provided what I had available to me because I was at school.
Okay, that's not an answer to my question. So let me ask it again.
He's
Before
confused.
you handed those screenshots over to Officer Kelly, did you in any way change, alter, manipulate, or delete any text message about this event from your phone at any time for any reason?
On one of the screenshots, one half of the conversation is missing, I believe, but I did not delete any information.
How did half the screenshot end up missing?
I'm really not sure. You'd have.
Now watch. This is where he panics. Okay, you can see it. He becomes man down. He becomes panicky. And we are going to see a wild move. Guys, this shit, that was like the fluffer in the beginning. And now we are about to be knee deep in insanity in Nantucket.
To ask some kind of expert on phones. I'm not sure.
So when you opened up your group messages, half of the messages just vanished.
Like I said earlier, I gave what I had available to me at the time, and I did not manipulate any of that.
When you say you gave what was available to you at the time, what do you mean by that? Explain what you mean by that explanation.
I was in my sophomore year at college, which is in a different state from my hometown. And I didn't have a lot of this available to me, including the actual phone. And so I gave what I had available. I gave the screenshots and the messages that I had that were available to me at the time.
Would you agree, Mr. Little, you've used an iPhone, you're an iPhone generation young man, right?
Correct.
You're super familiar with iPhones.
Yeah.
You could probably
Can you just call him an iPhone, baby?
from 5 years ago, right now,
No.
if you hadn't deleted them, correct?
Would you like me to explain?
Let me ask it a different way, because I know you've gone through several iterations of phones and there's been backups and you've lost things.
I have tried to go back and find the conversations, and due to a variety of circumstances, they were not there. Those circumstances were not related to any deletions.
Text messages do not simply delete themselves from an iPhone.
Ooh, where have we heard this before? Oh, I'm so sorry, loveys. Are we entering Hustle Long to Die in Cold? This is like the basis of text messages do not just delete themselves, right? You manually delete or they auto delete. And we find out who did delete these.
No, they do not.
So if they're not there, somebody had to have done something to remove them from that phone.
Unless there was some kind of error with the phone.
Unless there was an error with the phone. But assuming that there's no error with your iPhone 5S, and we only got partial text messages with specific deletions in a conversation, someone had to go in and manipulate those conversations and delete certain things, right, Mr. Little?
Repeat the question one more time, please.
Oh,
Mr. Little, if
Lord.
we have text conversations between you and MD that night that are on a screenshot, and a forensic report shows that actually, in part of the deleted cache on your phone, parts of those conversations were missing and taken out. Someone had to have done that. They don't just evaporate on their own, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. He can answer to what he did. He can answer what somebody else may or may not have done.
Well, he may be familiar enough with the phone to say, no, my phone and messages don't just disappear. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, but certainly to Lenny's point, the question is whether or not he did it.
I understand.
I have no knowledge of any deletions of messages on my phone, if that answers your question.
And you're sitting here today testifying under oath that you are not the one that's responsible for any of the deletions on the phone, right?
Correct.
If you will take a look, you've already glanced through the screenshots that I provided you earlier. If you look at this document, which you've not seen before, on the left, could you compare, just very briefly, just scroll through and compare what you see on the screenshots to the column on the left, not on the right at this point, but the column on the left.
Okay, and then there is a time that he says
And then you began.
something, and they mention the name of
You can
MD.
step down.
So it, but I want to get that in here.
The record, document, or object's integrity, or
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Here it is.
my fault.
No.
And then there's a fourth category or a fourth set in red that starts from MD, ha ha ha, holy F, get out of there. That's creepy, OMG. I really thought you were kidding. I believe she probably meant, I really thought you were kidding. And then finally, quote, did you let him teach down your pants and feel your, another word, dick?
And then followed by the help me text.
Followed by help me. If you look in your screenshots, Mr. Little, every single one of those categories. Category 1, MD basically saying she doesn't believe you. Category 2, instructing you to just walk away. If in fact that's what's happening, just go away. And number 3, category 3, evidence of potential consent. All of those were deleted from the screenshots, or missing from the screenshots that you sent to Officer Kelly. Is that right?
Yes.
Yet the words help me were kept in. Is that right?
Which words were kept out?
Help me was kept in, right? Is that yes?
Yes.
Mr. Little, you're aware that under Massachusetts law, deleting, altering any document used in furtherance of a prosecution, any document or object used in furtherance of a prosecution is a felony offense punishable by state prison.
Correct.
You're aware that general law, chapters 268, section 13E provides, quote, whoever alters, destroys, mutilates, or conceals a record, document, or other object, or attempts to do so with the intent to impair the record, document, or object's integrity or availability for use at an official proceeding, whether or not the proceeding is pending at the time, shall be punished by imprisonment in the state prison. You're aware of that law?
I was not previously aware of that law.
But you are now, correct?
Correct.
In other words, deleting text messages from your phone before you give them to the police is a felony, right?
I object to that.
Well, all he's asking is whether or not deleting it would make him subject to the law. I think it's
Well, he's asking if any deletions from his phone would result in him being able to be charged with something, and that's not the state of the law. That's not the case.
Well, I think it's exactly the case.
No, come up for a minute, would you? Both of you. Sir, I'll tell you what, you may step down for the moment. You're probably going to be called back up, but for the moment, sir, you can step down. Mr. Margerson and Ms. Donovan, would you come up, please?
Plot twist. He pleads the fifth. I'm sorry. He deleted everything else in a conversation that he was telling a play-by-play to his 7 best friends from first grade and MD, an alleged underage girl of unknown origin. And he deletes everything except the help me part that he allegedly said regarding the incident with Kevin Spacey. He gets grilled by AJ in laser-like precision and pleads the fucking fifth. Clutch, clench, Kegel.
Thank you. Respect. Agree with you. It may cause a problem down the road. Lenny, you may want to consider whether or not you want to take this individual's assertion of a Fifth Amendment privilege for the case in chief, which I know will pretty much end the case, or at least that's my impression. But you tell me, sir, what's your desire?
Well, we'll certainly have to consider that. I'm not prepared today to say what we're going to do.
All right.
Well, Your Honor, on that note, I think that I want to make sure that we are not waiving any privilege. Sorry, we're not waiving anything concerning his invocation of the privilege. He's got competent counsel. He's had a full and fair opportunity to be advised by competent counsel who has indicated that he is going to, she's counseled him to plead the fifth. He's indicated that he's going to exercise that privilege, which is absolutely his constitutional right. Obviously, one of the most protected constitutional rights. There's no reason to believe that between now and when we set a trial date and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of man hours potentially, and enormous blood, sweat, and tears getting ready for trial, that's going to change. I think the court could make an inquiry right now of Mr. Little. Do you intend to exercise your Fifth Amendment privilege throughout all proceedings? And if so, we would move to dismiss these charges today. This entire case is completely compromised. He is the sole witness, and he knows this. I'm not saying anything that he doesn't already know. He's the sole witness that can establish the circumstances of the allegation on the night in question.
Yes.
This case needs to be dismissed, and I believe it needs to be dismissed today.
I appreciate it.
I would just I'd ask for a week for me to be able to kind of assess our position and see where we are. We could, not trying to claim, I know it's going to happen, but we could probably take care of this over the phone next week, depending on what the decision of my office is. We have to look to see if there's any other.
Jackson, I get it, and you may be on the money. Once exercised, it may be pretty hard to get around this privilege at trial. I'm going to allow Mr. Glennie to have further discussions with his office, and the matter may well be discussed.
Look at AJ. He is like, shut the fuck up. He's like, come on. He just pled the fifth. He just said, I can't say this. He was advised by counsel. Get out of here. What are we doing?
This, for the reasons indicated, it's not going to happen today. So,
All right, could we set another date?
we can do that, but let's hear from Ms. Unruh, I guess, whether or not she has. That may be certainly not as important since the case revolves around this individual, and without him, Commonwealth will have a tough road to hoe. Where's Ms. Donovan?
Ms. Donovan, I believe it.
And I also will be taking Judge Barrett's phrase, his one-liner, that there is going to be a tough road to hoe. Because there's a lot of hoeing going on in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Talk to Ms. Unruh. Ms. Donovan just came up to me and said that Ms. Unruh wanted to speak with me. I said I didn't want to do that without Mr. Gary Beating being present. And then we were kind of busy here, so I have not been able to address that. But she was going to talk to her and come back. She still wished to speak with me. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know.
Let's figure out. Go ahead.
The only other thing that I wanted to make sure that we put on the record, just sort of prophylactically so it doesn't happen again, Mr. Glennie was very...
Hi, Dean Tant. I am just revisiting this case because I didn't see it when it happened in 2019, or I didn't remember it. And there are a couple of things that are very close, in my opinion, to the you know who you know, and you're treated differently in the Commonwealth, because this criminal case would have never gone forward if it wasn't the son of Heather Unruh, a beloved local anchor. And this changed a lot for the career of Kevin Spacey. Was never the same, right? And people will always think he was accused of doing ungodly things or molesting a young man at a restaurant. But was it true, or was there other nefarious intent? And seeing Heather Unruh on the stand and her husband, Nick Little, the shit that comes out of their mouth, the entitled, unbelievable reactions from these people is jaw-dropping. So I wanted to revisit it.
Kind and pulled me aside a few minutes ago and indicated that Ms. Unruh, notwithstanding my motion to exclude witnesses, which my fault, I'll hoist myself on my own petard at this point because I didn't know the right verbiage, I should have made a motion for sequestration.
Right.
I did not know that. I learned it.
Right. So she's been with others concerning
I
testimony.
think it's further than that. I think she's watching the proceedings live on TV, which is exactly what I did.
That's entirely inappropriate.
She literally said,
you don't need extra language to know that that's wrong. So
I think she knew better.
Yeah. There's a reason why she stepped outside.
Correct.
Not to watch TV about the proceedings.
Correct.
Ms. Donovan, with respect to Ms. Unruh, do you find that she has a privilege?
I do not, Your Honor. I spoke to her, I explained to her what the ramification for what the Commonwealth would have to prove.
This is
yes,
the
what
lawyer.
she possibly would be charged with, based on what she has told me, that she does not have a privilege at this time.
So then she's prepared to testify in this case. We still have the issue of whether she crossed the line in terms of sequestration. I understand.
The only thing I'd say in that regard, and again, Ms. Unruh was not one of the Commonwealth witnesses today.
No, I know.
It would be that, there was a statement that was made, and I forget what the word was that you used. It wasn't sequestration.
Motion to exclude.
Right. And I took that to be a sequestration order, of course, but I'm an attorney and she's not. And I think that.
Bullshit, Glennie. Bull fucking shit. Heather was an institution in the Commonwealth. She is an anchor. She absolutely has covered trials. She's a journalist, for Christ's sake. Stop absolutely right now. Full stop. Shut your full fucking throat. And do not make excuses for the fact that she's watching these proceedings completely believing that rules do not apply to thee. This is a highly educated woman who knows court proceedings. I know that she's not an attorney, but get the fuck out of town.
You know, she may not have understood the full ramification of what sequestration may have meant. But, you know, he did say during that motion that he didn't want them to hear the testimony. And I don't know that she did. That, you know, it may be something.
Let's bring her in and inquire of her whether she was in fact watching TV throughout these proceedings.
May I speak with Unruh privately before we bring in?
Go ahead.
This is the first I've heard of this.
Go talk to her. And,
he doesn't know
Donovan,
anything.
If you want to talk to her again, you can do that. But one way or the other, let's either get her on the stand or she can exercise her fifth. Let's go.
I mean, my client is.
Any reason for this gentleman to stick around, folks?
No, Your Honor, except I think that he should be instructed that he shouldn't talk about what's happened here with any other potential witnesses.
I would join in the request for that order.
Well, that presumes we're going to have a further witness. Maybe we will. A little again. Yeah, you may not discuss what you've observed or what you've testified to with anyone else connected to the case. You can talk to counsel, but you cannot talk to other prospective witnesses. You understand, sir? Thank you. You may step outside.
Okay.
Folks, 5 minutes. Hopefully that's enough time. We'll come back and then
All rise, please.
Right, should anything come up, to be allowed to consult with her during testimony.
you can, although we're going to be in the same situation where we get on the
So now the judge is like, hey, babe, he's talking to the attorney, right? And she's like, well, I don't know. I'll let her get up and I'll let her, I will let her be questioned here. However, if she gets into muddy waters, we're going to be able to pull the Fifth Amendment. And Judge Barrett is like, what the fuck? Why are we wasting our time then? Either she's going to get up and she's going to do this, or she's asserting her privilege. Which one is it? And this attorney is like, yeah, no, she doesn't want to assert her privilege.
road, and all of a sudden the
Yeah. What if anything?
Law under Massachusetts, that is altering, destroying, mutilating, or concealing a document or a record with the intent to impair that record's integrity. Period. Full stop. There is no way that if she's already admitted, which she has, that she has compromised the integrity of that phone before giving it over to the police, even though she may deny that it dealt with text messages or group texts, she certainly admitted that she's scrubbed the phone and sanitized the phone in terms of her son's overall credibility. And that's not fair for us. And I think that should be taken very seriously in terms of a prosecution. She could be prosecuted for that in and of itself. So I want to make sure that counsel's aware that it's not just her denial of the texts. It's the fact that she admits to having scrubbed the phone to make him look other than he actually was.
Well, that may be your characterization. I mean, that certainly she did delete items. It, I guess, remains to be seen when she takes a stand. So, Donovan, you tell me, do you want to talk to her? Do you want to just go forward? And the other question is, Mr. Jackson, do you want to continue with the hearing today?
I do.
Okay. All right. So go ahead. Do you have a thought?
Yes, the question I would have for the court and for Mr. Jackson and for the Commonwealth would be, to what extent the phone was being used? If the question is, this statement's being made that Ms. UNRUH deleted messages from that night, or the question is if she had deleted anything from after that point that to some extent that had nothing to do with that night. To what extent was the court order having to do with the phone? Was it for everything, or was it for that?
You know what, you can't, that's a pretty hard line to walk. I mean, she takes the stand. Mr. Jackson is going to ask her about the phone, whether she got it, when she deleted it, she turned it over, conversation she had with her son. All of that's coming in. And at that point, you can't say, no, wait. I mean, the same testimony for the most part that came in from Mr. Little, you can bank on that coming in with her as well. And,
Yeah.
and I can't allow you to jump up and object when there's a question that you don't like.
And the only thing I didn't mean to interrupt, but I did want to answer counsel's question very directly. The preservation order, which I think you were asking about, was the entirety of every bit and byte on that phone, that nothing was to be deleted, destroyed, manipulated, or altered on that phone at all.
That preservation order I entered
That was the one on
after the
Correct.
January, after the
January 7th, I think.
right. And then it was expanded a little while thereafter. So her
That's right.
deletions, at least that we know about, occurred much prior to that.
Well,
it would seem.
a few weeks prior.
Preservation
Yeah.
of January 2019.
I understand.
That's right.
I
I guess
understand.
that was my question I had, whether or not the preservation order came into effect after Ms. UNRUH had deleted anything. I will speak to her.
I don't know when she deleted stuff. It came into effect on January, and then it was expanded, I think, the next meeting, which was in February sometime.
Well, the court, I will speak to her again, to explain everything again, and
Oh, we're just talking. She's a talker. She's telling them everything.
it doesn't sound like that, we're going to be broaching Fifth Amendment issues with respect to Mr. Little's testimony. So let's bring him in, and if an issue presents itself during this examination, we'll stop.
Next.
All right.
This is the father. This is Will Little II, but he is known as Nick. And then the third, Will Little III, is the son who's the complainant.
Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Little, thank you for joining us this afternoon. I appreciate it. I have a few questions for you concerning one of your son's phones. Specifically, when I refer to his phone, I'm talking about the phone that was in his possession on July 7th and 8th of 2016. So we're talking the same language. You understand?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
How many years ago?
Well, you tell me.
The phones weren't seized immediately, Serenity, because the filing and the report of what happened to Will Little was not done for 13 months after the event. So from July to 2016, it was actually reported in December of 2017, I believe, to the police. So that's why nothing was seized immediately.
It was July 2016.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What's your question?
Mr. Little, I'll ask the questions. You answer the question. Clear about our roles, okay?
I understand.
Gents, he was inquiring as to what the question was, Mr. Jackson. I think you both kind of had overlapping comments there, but go ahead, sir.
To answer your question, sir, it was 3 years ago. July 8th, 2016, the phone that was in your son's possession. That's what I'm referring to when I ask you about the phone. Yes? Understand?
That's what you say, yes.
Okay.
Sure.
At any point, did you ask your son to look at his phone, that phone?
He looks at his phone every day. What kind of question is that?
Sir, hang on a second. Now, back to the point that Mr. Jackson made. Listen to the question and answer. Just listen to the question and answer just the question that's asked. You don't need to go beyond that. If there's a further question, Mr. Jackson will ask it, or Mr. Glennie will ask it. All right. So just focus on the question, sir, and we'll move through this examination more quickly. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. At any point, did you ask for you to look at your son's phone?
No.
So between July of 2016 and when this incident was reported to the police 15 months later, October of 2017, did you ever see his phone or the contents of his phone?
I did see his phone, yes.
Did you ever look into the contents of the phone?
I did not look into the contents of the phone.
You never looked at any text messages or group chats?
That said, help me.
Okay, so you did look at his phone.
He showed me the text that said, help me.
Okay.
Does that help you? Because I think there's a clear text there that.
Sure. I appreciate that.
It's going way too far.
Listen, I'll decide that. You answer the question, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. You don't understand.
Hostile. Okay. We get it. This is his son. I can have so much compassion, but I don't feel as though Alan Jackson, AJ Action Jackson in this situation is not coming for the neck of Nick Little. He is just asking him questions and he is not being snarky at all. Now, listen to us. We love AJ Snark, but a family, a father dealing with this is a very difficult dance for an attorney to have to choreograph around. How I'm going to ask you this. And this man, this father is so filled with like rage and anger and sadness about it that he can't at all compose himself. And Judge Barrett tries to reel him in several times.
My question, just ask me and I'll repeat it. Okay.
I think you've had way too many questions that have gone way too far.
Listen to me. You keep this up, I'm going to hold you in contempt. This is a criminal proceeding and you will cooperate, or as I say, you'll be held in contempt.
I understand.
I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Thank you. What were the circumstances in which you looked at his text messages?
He showed me the text.
When was that?
I can't tell you an exact date. I don't recall the exact date.
Can you give me an idea of the month or even the time of year?
It was the week when it happened.
Okay. And
do you want to let everyone know what that was that happened?
Who was there when you looked at his text messages?
I asked you a question.
Listen, are you not hearing me, sir?
I am. I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry. My son.
Listen to me. This is not about that at this moment. It's about what you know.
But has turned into that.
You listen, you're real close.
I'm sorry.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's try this again, Mr. Little. Approximately, if you don't know the day, approximately when was it that you looked at his phone?
I don't know.
Do you believe, as you testified just a couple seconds ago, that it was the week of the alleged incident?
Yes.
Who was there when you looked at that phone?
My son and my wife.
Did she look at the phone as well?
She did.
So the two of you as parents, Will Little's parents, scrolled through the text messages he had on his phone, correct?
No, we did not scroll through his text messages. We looked
What
at
did
the
you look at?
messages that he showed us.
Just the messages that he showed you. Did you have any concern, Mr. Little, with the contents of any of those text messages?
I've already told you the concern I had. Yes.
Okay. You mentioned the help me text message, correct?
Yes.
Did you see other text messages on the phone?
No.
The only text that you saw on the screen on his phone was help me that he showed you?
I saw other texts, but the one that stood out was the one that said, help me. As a father, that stood out.
Did you at any point suggest to your son that he get rid of certain text messages?
Absolutely not.
Did you have a conversation with your wife at any point between then and now
No.
about, well, let me finish my question.
I know what your question is. Go ahead.
Well, you don't know what my question is.
Oh my God, he's a mind reader. He already knows. He's saying, AJ, no, the answer is no. I know what your question is going to be. Now, AJ is going to get a little fiery, but understandably, I believe AJ has tried to accommodate as much as possible here.
Sorry,
Sir,
go ahead.
At any point between then and now, did you have any conversation with your wife, Heather Unruh, about the contents of those messages?
What is your question?
At any point between July of 2016 and today, have you had any conversations with your wife about the contents of those text messages?
Isn't there a spousal privilege?
Sir,
I would have to agree.
hang on. Hang on.
You would have to
Sir,
agree.
hang on. Do you have anything to say about that, Lenny, in terms of a spousal privilege? Normally, if there's somebody else in the room, then that privilege would not apply. And I think he indicated that he was doing it with the son. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say there's also a crime fraud issue if the conversation
Well,
any text messages. And that's what I'm trying to get at.
go ahead.
Thank you. Do you have the question in mind? Or do you want me to repeat it?
What's your question?
At any point, did you and your wife, Heather Unruh, discuss the contents of those text messages? Yes or no?
Well, I would object to that unless somebody else was present. He's not asking like now when William was there. He's asking at any time.
I'll rephrase the question or follow on with another question. Who was in the room? Was there ever a time that you two discussed it, you and your wife discussed it with Will, your son, in the room as well?
Hi, Emily.
I already answered that phone together.
Anytime after you looked at the phone that first, did you and Heather and Will discuss the context? I looked at the phone, Mr. Lou, but discuss what was on the phone. It was this text and that text and a group text and a chat and a video and this. Never.
We're discussing the issue, not the phone.
Right.
What we're talking about here is, are you talking about looking at what's in the phone, or are you talking about what's happening in the real world of what's happened here? Because we've been talking about what happened.
After you looked at the phone, what I'm asking.
The phone was not the issue.
Let me finish. Respectfully, you don't get to decide what the issue is, sir. The court decides that, okay? See if you can answer my question. If you don't understand it, tell me and I'll repeat it.
Repeat it. I don't understand your question.
At any point after you looked at the text messages with your wife and your son, did the three of you discuss the contents of those messages?
We probably could have, yes. Because we get back to the help me. There was what we thought was a crime here.
As a matter of fact, the topic, as you put it, came up multiple times before that phone was ever even turned over to the police.
The topic of what? What is your question?
The contents of that phone, the fact that there were text messages from that night, that was discussed among you, your wife, and
I think it's quite obvious. Yes, there were texts from that night.
That wasn't my question. See if you can answer my question.
Oh.
Did you discuss with your wife? I know there were text messages, Mr. Little. That wasn't my question. Did you discuss those text messages?
Yes.
Did you ever, or your wife ever, express concern to Mr. Little, your son, about what those text messages contained?
No.
Did you ever tell your son that you thought some of the text messages needed to be deleted?
No.
Before he turned it over to the police?
No.
Did you know that your son was going to turn over certain text messages from that night to the police?
When is the question?
At any point. At any point. Did you know before it happened, at any point before it happened, that your son was intending to turn over screenshots from his phone to the police?
I'm not even sure if I understand that question, Judge.
I appreciate that, sir.
I'll try to
Jackson,
rephrase it.
would you? Thank you.
Did you know, were you aware, Mr. Little, at any point that your son was intending to supply the police with screenshots of those conversations?
If I can recall this properly, I believe the police asked us to do that.
Okay, so that still doesn't answer my question. At what point did you become aware that your son was going to provide screenshots?
I can't recall.
Did you look at the screenshots before they were provided?
Can't recall. I don't think so.
Did the screenshots mirror the actual texts that you saw?
Whose face? Doesn't he give vibes of Matt McCabe here, minus the veneers, right? But like it just is, can't recall, like nonchalant about a lot.
On the phone.
I have no idea. I didn't look at them that closely.
How about your wife? Did she look at the phone more closely than you did?
You guys going to have me answer questions for my wife?
Oh,
Sure, it's what you observed. So if you observed
When
her
you saw her-
studying the phone, then you can answer that yes.
What
or
is
no.
your question?
Did your wife, in your presence, did you ever observe her looking
No.
in more detail than you did?
No.
Okay. Did you ever see her looking at the phone or looking at the text messages after that first week after the incident?
I can't recall. I have no idea.
Who turned that phone over to the police?
Will did.
I'm sorry?
My son did. Will.
Were you there?
I don't recall if I was there at the time. I don't know.
But you specifically recall that it was Will Little, your son, that
It's his phone. They asked him to turn over the
Sir,
phone.
I'm going to ask you one more time. Please wait until the end of my question before you interrupt. Okay, that's the only way this.
You just don't know how to ask questions.
Sure.
I'm working on that.
Listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, listen. You want to take a break?
No, I'm fine.
You need to.
You just don't know how to ask questions. To Alan Jackson, Nick, that's not correct. You know you're a fucking fibber on that one.
Compose yourself.
Yeah.
Because you continue to go beyond the limits of the question.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Go ahead.
Is it your testimony that it was your son who physically turned the phone over to the police when it was turned over?
Yes.
Were you there when he did that?
No.
When was that?
I don't know.
Can you give me a month or a year?
When the police started investigating and they asked for the phone, that's when we did.
So you believe it was right around the time that he first reported the incident to the Nantucket Police, Officer Kelly?
I don't know. It's when they asked for it.
But you have no idea in your head when it
No.
was. Who got the phone back from the police?
We don't know. We don't think we have the phone.
Do you remember being home on December 18th, 2017 with Kyla and your son, Will?
I not recall that day being home.
Do you remember where you were?
Probably at work.
Do you remember being contacted by Trooper Donovan from State Police about that phone?
Not personally, no.
Do you remember Trooper Donovan calling you and making an appointment to return the phone to you?
No, he didn't make an appointment to return the phone. He made an appointment to talk to my daughter.
When he spoke to your daughter on that same occasion, were you there?
I believe I was.
Was that at home?
I believe so.
Do you remember him?
We're in a 5-alarm dickhead alert. Okay? Dickhead alert.
Handing you the phone on that same date?
I do not.
Oh, sorry, I missed that response.
I do not.
Do you remember Will being home at the time that your daughter was interviewed?
I do not.
Do you remember Trooper Donovan handing Will the phone in your presence on that date?
I do not.
Did you ever receive that phone in any way, shape, form, or fashion back from the state police?
I don't recall.
If you had received that,
Where, oh, where has the cell phone gone? No one knows. I'm going to tell you this right now, babes. Heather UNRUH was not home that day. It was either Big Willie Styles all in it, getting jiggy with it, okay? Or Little Will. So Nick goes by Will, whatevs. And either senior or junior was home. And I'm gonna tell you this. It's giving maybe some repressed things going on in his life, and that this blew up and his son was allegedly groped by a man, I think for a certain demographic and a certain age subset in Massachusetts, and especially uppity motherfuckers, okay? Nantucket motherfuckers. This is something that would be not, I don't want to say embarrassing, but maybe something that forces him to look within, right? And say, why is this upsetting me? Or why is this making me react in a specific way? So that's what I sense from him. I think he got that fucking phone. I think the Trooper Donovan, I'm just saying, okay, this is all speculation. I'm just what the spirit has moved me on this Sunday service is he got that phone. And now it's never been found since.
phone back from the state police. Do you think that's something that you likely would have remembered?
Objection.
Oh, he's answered.
Yes.
So is it your testimony that in point of fact, you did not receive the phone back from the state police?
That's what I've said.
And I'm not trying to be coy. As you sit here today, sir, you have never received that phone back.
I don't recall getting the phone back.
If you had gotten that phone back, What do you think you would have done with it?
That's my line.
I'll
Weird.
sustain it. I mean, it's
All right, I'll ask you a different question, Judge. You knew, Mr. Little, that relevant information to this case was contained on that phone, did you not? Including text messages and chats and things that we've been discussing, correct?
I do.
You also knew that if, in fact, this case were to proceed to trial, that phone would likely be used or be necessary in that trial, correct?
We did.
Mr. Little, did you have anything to do with getting rid of that phone?
No.
In your presence or to your knowledge?
Okay, now listen, babes. We know I am not a body language expert, but he just said no and he shook his head yes. Okay, I'll leave it to others that have a degree, baby. But what, if anything, where'd you put that phone?
Did your wife, Heather Unruh, have anything to do with getting rid of that phone?
No.
To your knowledge, did Will Little have anything to do with getting rid of that phone?
No.
As you sit here today, can you tell me
And Will might have helped, or Will knows about it because he just shook his head yes on that too.
where is the phone?
No.
In whose possession did you last, you just personally, not what you've heard from others, but in whose possession did you last?
All right, hold
What do
on.
you think you would have done with it?
objection.
I'm gonna play
I'll
it
sustain
again.
it. I mean, it's
All right, I'll ask you a different question, Judge. You knew, Mr. Little, that relevant information to this case was contained on that phone, did you not? Including text messages and chats and things that we've been discussing, correct?
I do.
Now watch his head. He's gonna shake it up and down. Yes, guys.
You also knew that if, in fact, this case were to proceed to trial, that phone would likely be used or be necessary in that trial, correct?
We did.
Mr. Little, did you have anything to do with getting rid of that phone?
No.
In your presence?
Oh, did you see it? Did you see it? Nope. I saw it with my own eyeballs.
Or to your knowledge, did your wife, Heather Unruh, have anything to do with getting rid of that phone?
No.
To your knowledge, did Will Little have anything to do with getting rid of that phone?
No.
Watch the nod. He's gonna say nope.
As you sit here today, can you tell me where is the phone?
No.
In whose possession did you last, you just personally, not what you've heard from others, but in whose possession did you last see it?
I saw it with my son.
And after you saw that phone in your son's possession, you've never seen it again?
and sir, just so we're clear, do you remember the date when you last saw it with your son?
I do not.
Okay,
May I have just a moment, Your Honor? I just need a quick second. That's all I have at this time.
thank you. Lenny?
Sir, did you ever have the passwords to your son's phone?
No.
No,
And
he
the
never
phone
did.
was the one-
Glenny doesn't get. Mr. Glenny doesn't get anything. Now
We'll get as far as we can.
Actually met in an adjoining dining room area where we actually interviewed the daughter.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Very briefly, Your Honor, did you get a receipt for the phone? I think you probably should have.
Objection.
I'll rephrase it. What's your normal protocol?
When returning items in evidence, we probably would get a receipt.
But you didn't in this case.
Correct.
That's all I have.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You can step down.
So he was the one who did the interview on the 18th with the daughter, Kyla, and he allegedly brought the phone back to the house, but there was no evidence log or not evidence log, rather, like something that they're returning the phone because they made the forensic download of it.
Just stay right there for a second.
This is heartbreaking. Babes, this is heartbreaking. When I tell you that I love her, like I love Heather Unruh, this upsets my entire spirit. I have never wanted to be an anchor, but her and Natalie Curtis and even Kim Kerrigan. Kim Kerrigan was such a bitch, but I loved her. She was my bitch. She's my bitch. Her and Jean Levanchi, you couldn't tell me shit. VB doing a zip trip. Stop it. I love these fuckers. And they're like loyal, they're like local royalty. They're the Turtle Boys back in the news days, or like of TV news. When you would see these people out, oh my God, one time my Nana Phyllis and I, what did we see? I don't know where we were, probably down in West Dennis at my grandmother's house. And we saw Chet and Natalie Curtis. You would have thought the Beatles were there, bitch. Okay? Legends, local royalty. I don't think they bought their lunch. I think that they were there. It might have been like, maybe a lobster roll. I don't know what was happening. I don't even know where we were eating. I was a small child. I was young, but I remember it being, and my Nana Phyllis was like, oh, that's so uncouth. Like, she was like, I can't believe they're going up to him. They're going up to them and making a spectacle. Ugh. Oh. But everyone knew. Everyone was sitting and being like, oh my gosh, we are here. They are here. No one had a cell phone. It was 99. Okay, sorry. But Heather Unruh, I love. So this kills me.
Testimony given cause not hearing is true.
Hang on just a minute. Donovan, any change still? If there is a fifth,
Yeah,
waiving
does
it,
she wanna- does she wanna-
Your Honor, there is a fifth, and she is waiving it at this time.
All right. So
Well, I believe there is a fifth. I have advised her of it.
I understand.
She's waiving it, which is
And she says, fuck that noise. I'm going to do what I want. And this is bananas.
State your name and your age, please.
Heather Unruh, age 52,
How far did you go in school?
bachelor's degree from DePaul University.
Any drugs or alcohol the past 24 hours? I know these are questions that I need to ask. So
Yes, I've had alcohol in the last 24 hours.
Yes,
but that's not
today.
That's not impacting your ability to know what's going on here today.
No, no.
You're not suffering from any impact your ability to understand what's going on here. Is that correct?
No.
I'm advised that by your attorney that after consultation with you, and I think Mr. Carabinian as well, that at least Mr. Donovan is of the opinion that you have a Fifth Amendment privilege not to testify, because by doing so, you may incriminate yourself, may subject yourself to criminal prosecution. Is that accurate? That she's of the opinion that you have a fifth? Is that right?
And that to me.
I'm further advised that although you may have a fifth, you're choosing to waive that fifth. Is that right?
Yes.
And so if you waive the fifth, you understand that you take the stand and you offer testimony that incriminates you, you can face prosecution. You understand that?
Yes.
Anyone forcing you to waive this fifth?
Nope.
Anyone threaten you at all?
Nope.
Anyone promise you anything?
I'm sorry. Heather, can you please let us know, was Turtle Boy anywhere? Okay. Did he make you feel like you couldn't, plead the fifth? Did he say, do the right thing, like Boston Police Commissioner told Kelly Deaver?
Nope.
You had enough time to talk to your attorney about the case, or at least I should say.
No.
No, if that's the case, then
You have to make your mind up now, sort of.
well, that's true. But you know what? If you still need some time, then I don't want to put you on the stand if you're not sure about what you want to do. So you tell me, are you comfortable taking the stand now?
This was a poor choice. I'm going to tell you right now, should have taken the fifth. Have the featherhead. Should have done it. Want to know why? AJ gets you.
Waiving the fifth, or do you have a different thought about what you need in terms of time with your attorney?
I have nothing but the truth to tell. So while I know it
Don't
may
cry.
be very unpleasant going forward, I believe I was raised to tell the truth and not be afraid to.
Well, I appreciate that. But again, you may have this privilege, and I just want to be clear that you're going to testify despite the fact that nobody can force you to testify in this.
Yes, yes,
So you're going to waive the privilege for the reasons I indicated, freely.
yes,
Yes?
yes.
All right. I appreciate that. You may take a seat, sir.
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, one more thing. There was, we excluded witnesses this morning. There was a report that you may have witnessed some of the TV coverage, did you?
No,
All right.
couldn't see a thing.
No.
I could.
Oh, you're a fibber, Heather. Emily C. Was it a bench trial? No, babe, it never went to trial. This was all pre-trial. This was them at a evidentiary like we should have had. I don't know. Maybe in Karen Reed trial too, when we were asking for the questioning of Trooper Buchanan and other witnesses at the time. But this was all pre-trial, and then it was dropped. It was dismissed.
Hear outside in the hallway the questioning that was going on.
Sure. Well, there's not much we can do about that. But
Yes.
all right. It's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Unruh, you indicated that you were raised to tell the truth.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a second. If the truth is
Oh,
that you deleted or altered certain things on that phone, you're going to tell us that, correct?
Yes.
At any point, did you ask your son, Will Little, to look at his phone before it was turned over to the police?
No, I looked at his phone before it was turned.
Probably a bad question on my part. That's exactly what I was asking. At any point before it was turned over to the police, did you look at his phone?
Yes.
Okay. Was that upon your inquiry, or did he say, Mom, look at my phone?
I was inquiring about evidence I didn't know existed.
And that what you put as evidence included text messages between him and a young lady that I'll refer to as MD. Do you know who that person is?
I do.
Okay, we're trying to say her name.
Yeah.
So you can help it. And then a group chat among your son and a group of other young men.
Yes.
You saw both of those sets of conversations.
Not on his phone.
When did you see, or where did you see those?
He screen grabbed from his computer and texted it to me. And I had never seen them before. They were a bit shocking.
And those text messages were then, those the same screenshots that were provided to the police, to the authorities.
Yes.
Did you tell him to provide those screenshots to the authorities?
I can't remember if I provided them or if he provided them. I honestly can't remember. But yes, essentially, yes, thought they were very important to the case.
At any point, did you discuss with your son a concern that you had about the content of some of those text messages?
No.
Did you ever tell him that you believed that certain of those text messages could be exculpatory?
No.
Did you ever instruct your son to delete certain of those text messages?
Certainly not.
Did you ever delete any of the text messages in the conversation between your son and MD?
No.
Did you ever delete any text messages between your son or among your and the group that was being texted back and forth that night?
No.
You had a meeting with Trooper Donovan on November 29th, 2017, correct?
Yep.
And that meeting was for the sole purpose of you turning over his phone to Trooper Donovan.
Yes.
Phone is basically like an electronic brick if you don't have a password, right?
Right.
You knew that. Trooper Donovan knew that.
Right.
I object to what Trooper Donovan knew or didn't know.
So I'm sorry, Judge. So you knew his password.
She did.
His password.
Well, I didn't know his password until he gave it to me.
Right.
And then I knew it. I'd never been on my son's phone looking for anything before.
At some point, you learned his.
Just going to remind you, Loveys, as a mother of two teenage daughters who I'm a creep. Okay. I'm creeping through the phones. Almost 15 and 16 years old. And Heather UNRUH, who like one of the comments was, don't meet your heroes. Don't. Unless it's David Yannetti, don't meet him. Because hearing what she is about to say and hearing her say, oh my God, I had never looked through my son's phone. You hadn't. You had never. You had never? Oh. Well, couldn't be me. Not only am I a nosy bitch, I'm a safety worry wart. Okay? I have two teenage daughters. I am absolutely fucking a huge creep. What's going on here? Who are you talking to? What's this? Who's that? I want to see it all. And if you don't want to show me, then you don't have a phone because I pay for it. Spot check.
Password.
Yes.
And that was before or after you turned the phone over to Trooper Donovan?
Before.
In fact, you were texting with your son on the same day that Trooper Donovan was going to come by and pick up the phone, correct?
I don't know. If you say I was, then I was. That's beyond my memory.
Well, let's look at a document real quick. This is a quick 3-page document that's from the quote-unquote Lantern Forensic Report. And if you could take a glance at that 3-page document, I know that's not something that you're familiar with, but if you could tell me after you've had a chance to look through it, if you recognize some of the contents of that page or those pages.
Yeah.
Did you and your son discuss before Trooper Donovan arrived at the house the fact that you were going to turn that phone over to law enforcement?
Oh, I'm quite certain. Yes.
In point of fact, Ms. UNRUH,
Truth.
40 minutes before Trooper Donovan's scheduled arrival at your house, which was 3 p.m., the scheduled arrival was 3 p.m., you and your son discussed what needed to be either deleted or manipulated on that phone, correct?
I don't see that anywhere in here.
Take a look, if you will, at the second text message down that indicates from mom at a 508 number. I'm not going to mention the rest of the number for privacy. Is that your phone number?
It is.
Okay. That text message says to your son, "Take a pic. I think your pictures are still ending up on your old phone, not messages, but pics.
Oh,
That's what
God.
that says, correct?
I don't understand what that means.
Well, you wrote it, Ms. Unruh.
Well, I wrote it how many years ago? Take a pic. I think your pictures are still ending up on your old phone, not messages, but pics. I think that what this probably was me telling Will that there weren't any messages on there. There were pictures, but no messages. But I'm guessing this was a long time ago, and that's not descriptive enough for me.
Ms. Unruh, the fact of the matter is that text message to your son is an indication that you and your son were discussing what was and wasn't on his old phone.
Before 40 minutes before they handed it over. Come on.
Oh, we were discussing that.
And you were concerned about what was and was not going to be on the old phone that you turned over to Trooper Donovan, correct?
How do you get that from this?
I'm asking you, ma'am.
No, but I don't know where you're going with it. I don't understand where you're going with it.
You were discussing 40 minutes before you were due to turn that phone over.
Yeah.
You had a discussion about which photos and which pictures and which messages were going to end up on the old phone. And you were concerned about that. And you sent that text message to your son in concern about what was and was not going to end up being on that phone.
This to me is more like, and I'm trying to interpret something that happened years ago, but this to me says more like, I am not a technology wizard. And for some reason, if he's sending me messages or something on that phone, I'm not getting them. So I'm saying, take a picture and send a picture. That's how I'm interpreting.
The easiest way for you to have turned over a pristine phone to Trooper Donovan would be to turn it off and just send it.
Yes.
As opposed to texting with your son minutes before he arrives, concerned, very concerned, obviously.
Thank you. I don't hear anything in there that sounds very.
Take a pic, ... I think your pictures are still ending up on your old phone, not messages, but pics. You had determined that the messages were not getting to his old phone. You were determining what photographs or what data was actually getting to his old phone before you turned it over to the police.
I can't tell you that. I'm sorry. That is not a clear statement to me. I can't tell you that.
Concerned.
Possibly.
Ms. Unruh, I'll ask an next
I'm
question.
just trying to interpret.
Stop for a second.
You've answered the question.
Okay.
Listen to it and answer it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You were, in fact, concerned about the contents of his phone.
I was, yes, some things.
As a mother,
yes,
very concerned, as a matter of fact.
Holy shit. Babes, if you have not seen this, this is going to make your skin fucking crawl. What were the things that Heather Unruh was concerned about as a mother?
Right. And this is sort of where the rubber meets the road, Miss Unruh. Before you turned the phone over to Trooper Donovan,
yes,
you accessed that phone, did you not?
I did.
You opened it up, yes?
Yes.
You started reviewing text messages, photographs, Snapchats, things of that nature.
I started looking for video. I was looking for video that I had no idea existed before that time, where Will confided in me that he had shot a video of Kevin Spacey sticking his hand inside his pants. And I went looking for that video because I thought it was very important.
If you knew that if in fact such a video existed, it was on the phone and it'd just be there. Turn it over to Trooper Donovan without you impacting the data on the phone, right?
I see what you're saying.
Is that right or not?
I was looking for video. I was looking for the video.
And you came across the phone too?
I did.
That included text messages,
No, Lovey. AJ was hired by Kevin Spacey.
Snapchats.
Not text messages.
Photographs.
Photographs and videos. I was specifically looking for that video. So I went through every video in his phone.
And in fact, the text messages would have been right there for you to see.
I didn't see them.
I'm not asking if you did. I know you're denying that you did.
Mm-hmm.
They would have been right there for you to see if you wanted to, correct?
I don't know. Are you an expert on phones? Do they survive
Well, I have
after?
an iPhone, ma'am. You can just open up the text.
This was a very old iPhone, and I don't know that things exist when you turn it off for a long period of time. Do the texts come back? I don't know. I can't answer that for you.
But you did scroll through the phone and find data that you didn't want the police to have, admittedly, correct?
Yes, and I was very honest with the police about that.
And the data on that phone included things like that you saw included nude photographs of girls taken by your sons.
Here it is. Nude photographs of girls taken by your son. And we're not using MD's full name. Now, MD was, if she was 17 at the time of alleged incident, as some of us might have said, right? Maybe she was just 17. It's not that big of a deal. Well, that's weird because she would have been 20 years old 3 years later, and who gives a shit? But he didn't. He went out of his way, AJ, not to mention this girl's name. And Heather Unruh is going to say that she wasn't concerned specifically about nude photos, but AJ wouldn't have said it if she didn't delete them.
No.
Did it include racist remarks?
Racism and racist remarks
Made by your son to some of his friends, racial epithets?
The only things that have, when I see something from my son, and this goes to his Venmo account, and there were some words on it that were rough and sounded racist.
minimizing. Now, I don't like this. Don't like this. There were some rough words. Was there?
Racist about it. I don't know. It's words to a song, which is what I didn't know. And somebody had Venmoed him money, and the whole reason they do it as a joke. The reason for Venmo, I can't say it. Venmoing you this money is, and someone would say prostitution, and someone else put something that was, Will didn't do it, else wrote something to him that was vile to me. And I asked him about it. I said, what the hell is this? And he said, it's the words to a song.
And then you deleted it.
I don't know if I deleted that. No.
Oh. So you went through your son's phone and you were going through his Venmo transactions? What the fuck? I thought you were looking for a video that he had allegedly captured the act of groping that he was accusing Kevin Spacey of. But no one reported this to the police for over a year? And you had video evidence? What are we doing, Hev?
Let's be clear about something. That was later. That was later.
Oh, I deleted it later.
Delete anything then?
With
deleted
racist
stuff later?
lyrics, I didn't delete anything later. But I was made aware that my son's Venmo account was not private.
And in fact, there was other evidence that you saw on the phone as well, including evidence of drugs, marijuana, cocaine. You saw that?
No cocaine.
Just marijuana?
Yes.
And some of these things, obviously, as a mother, you were embarrassed by, correct?
I don't know that embarrassed was the right word.
Upset by?
Yeah, I was concerned. I was
concerned.
Yeah.
And in fact, you were so concerned that you took it upon yourself to sort of take a first pass at that phone before it ended up in law enforcement hands and cleanse the phone of some of that embarrassing or concerning material, correct?
I deleted a few things.
But
holy fucking shit. What a red flag. And I'm so sad because an 18-year-old son of somebody who I look up to, and you can't control what your kids do. My kids could do shit as well. Who am I? I can look through their phone all the time and there'll still be stuff that they can get past me. You are not responsible for your children's behavior. I agree 100%. But you're accusing a man of a crime. And you are deleting your son's bad behaviors from his phone before you're turning it over to police. That is insane to me. It is illegal. It is inconceivable. Because if you're protecting your son from a crime or being known of for doing whatever it was, whether he was doing cocaine or taking pictures of naked young girls or smoking pot, whatever it is, you were trying to delete it, to not show things that had been done and that were living in these little computers that we have. Everything can be known about us, babes. What we click on, the ads. Are you shitting me? After this, it'll be like, hey, Kim, do you want to go to Nantucket next weekend? And I'll be like, no, you dumb bitch. There are things that our phones know. They know everything. Take it. I always say, listen, with the TikTok, take me to China, okay? If the Chinese government wants to know that, that I love a coupon, all right, and that I'm fucking looking for a BOGO deal, take it. Take it. I got nothing. But I just think that it is unbelievably, almost hypocritical that you want someone to pay for a crime committed, and yet you are wiping a phone and preventing your son from being seen in a least favorable light.
According to you, none of those things were attendant to text messages that were taken that were traded on the night of the incident, correct?
Definitely not. I thought those text messages were incredibly important to the case.
Some of the text messages you thought were important, right?
Everything I saw was very important to the case.
You also deleted evidence directly relevant to this case before you handed it to the police as well. Didn't you? You saw evidence of, for instance, homophobic comments by your son.
You'd have to show me that. My son has grown up with gay men as mentors, and he is not a bigot. So if you're telling me something, you're telling me something new.
Does he use the word faggot?
No.
Did you see that in his phone?
If I did, I do not recall that.
If you did, you likely would have deleted it, because that would have been among the embarrassing things that you as a concerned mom would not have wanted law enforcement to see. Correct?
No, I don't think that is something I would have deleted.
You would have left the word faggot in the phone?
Well, it's vile to me. It's not a word I would ever use.
And it's not a word that you would want your son to be known as using either.
And my son is not known for using that word.
Did you ever see any evidence of dishonesty? For instance, cheating on exams while in college?
No. He's worked incredibly hard and is on the dean's list.
So cheating on assignments and or tests, trading information among other students on tests and assignments, you didn't see that on his phone?
Absolutely not.
And you're saying you didn't delete that off of his phone?
If I deleted something like that, I think I would have remembered it.
Oh, you think? Do you think, Have? Miss Jess MB says, how long was she on TV after this? She wasn't, Lovey. She actually signed off for the last time, I believe, in 2017. This was 2019. So after he had made the allegations, she resigned from WCVB.
You even saw evidence of certain criminal activity, low-level criminal activity, but you saw evidence that he had falsified IDs for himself and others to get into bars, right?
Well, something I can relate to the little prick about. Been there, been 18. You got me, anti-Karen Reed trolls. Kimberly Jean, Kimberly McLovin, okay? Had a fake ID when I was 18. Woo! Tried to get in a bar, couldn't even do it. Got stopped by the liquor commissioner.
I don't know if Will ever falsified an ID for someone else, but like most almost 21-year-olds, he had a fake ID.
And that fake ID was used for what?
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am. Are you saying like most? Are you being, because you know what? My mom didn't think, Jacqueline Teresa did not think that was funny. She wasn't like, yeah, that's cool. She was like, you're a dumbass. And I could ground you. But I was like, I don't live at home.
What purpose, do you believe?
Buying alcohol.
Getting in bars, right?
He wasn't really going to bars then. He was, but he would buy, what?
When did he stop going to bars?
Raise your hand.
I don't understand the question.
You said that he wasn't going to bars then. When did he stop going to bars, Ms. Unruh?
I object to the question, Your Honor.
I don't understand the question. If you're asking me, when my son was a teenager, he did teenage stuff.
Hang on. Is there some reason this is particularly relevant?
Is it a felony? Because mine was dismissed, but is it a felony if you try to use a fake ID? I think it was a misdemeanor back in the olden days.
These are the items, Your Honor, just to put a fine point on it. And this is the last point that I wanted to make with Ms. Unruh before I move on. One of the last points I wanted to make. This is the evidence of scrubbing the phone, of embarrassing.
So you're indicating that that these questions go to information you have.
He has it all.
That has been deleted from the phone. Is that
Correct.
accurate?
Everything.
These ended up, this data that I'm referring to all ends up in the forensic data report.
Well, that question doesn't, because he's asking, it's like, when's the last time you beat your wife? That's exactly what this question is.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good.
I can rephrase it.
Thank you.
You know that the only reason that you would have a fake ID and would falsify identification paperwork is so that he could either buy alcohol for others, or get into a bar.
Buy alcohol, yes.
And you also saw an enormous amount of evidence, I'm supposing, you'll tell me if I'm wrong, on the phone of your son's drinking.
I've definitely seen him with alcohol in hand, as I think every teenager has done.
So you indicated you remember giving a press conference?
Yes.
Obviously. You indicated during that press conference that your son, 18-year-old son, was quote unquote plied, your word, not mine, with alcohol by Kevin Spacey.
Yes, he was.
I object. I don't see what this has to do with the reason that we're here for about the phone, where the phone is.
Because I believe that these were some of the data that was deleted from the phone. These are photos that were recovered from Mr. Little's phone. And I can streamline this because of the late hour.
That because otherwise we'll be coming back tomorrow on this thing.
But just to be clear, he may be able to streamline it, but the question about whether she said something about somebody plying you with alcohol has nothing to do with the photographs. The photographs show what they show, or they don't show what they don't show.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'll mark these for identification only. If I can approach.
Some water.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Series of photographs.
Water break.
I want you to take a look at and tell me if you recognize. That's the person in that photograph.
Well, it's hard to tell because he has a hat on.
Right.
But it's probably, it could be my son, if that's what you're asking.
You recognize the shorts, thick shorts, and there's another photograph that may help you.
A lot of the kids had shorts like that.
Okay. It looks like there's at some sort of party, and there's a lot of alcohol around, kind of youngsters party, right?
Yeah.
What about that photograph? The second one. See your son there?
Yeah, I've seen my son in this.
What's on the table next to him?
Beer cans. It doesn't make him a criminal.
I didn't ask you if you
Jesus
made him criminal. I'm asking you if
Christ.
you recognize your son in these photos.
Yeah.
Okay?
I do.
Do you recognize him in this photo?
I do.
Where is he?
Probably at the University of Delaware,
I'm sorry, I meant in the photo, my mistake.
front and center.
At the bottom of an ice luge, looks like a vodka or tequila luge, something like that, right?
Yep.
Consuming alcohol.
Consuming alcohol, yep.
I'm not sure if you see him in that photograph or not. Did you see that on his phone? The body luge photo.
Well, that is his friend.
Right.
And I don't see my son in this picture.
How about this one?
Looks like he's had too much to drink.
Last one, and take a hard look at the shorts.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They're all different, ma'am. Every one of them are different.
Okay.
Look at those shorts. Is that your son?
That is my son.
And what's he doing?
He is with a bunch of kids on a beach, and they are drinking Bud Light. They're chugging a Bud Light. I don't know what it's called, but there's a name for what you do when you have a hole in a can and
punch a hole in the bottom, shake the beer, punch a hole in the bottom of the can and over the top.
I've never done it, so I.
But how do you know the exact? You're describing a shotgun. He was shotgunning a beer, and she's like, "Well, you poke a hole in it. You open the cap, and you guzzle the beer directly out of it. You just couldn't say shotgun." He's at a luge. This could be him. The shorts look the same. What are we doing, Heather? Heather Unruh, you're being unruly, okay? Just be factual. And it doesn't make your son a criminal that he drinks alcohol. No one friggin' said he was. It's criminally interesting that you did a press conference saying that Kevin Spacey was plying your child with alcohol, giving him all alcohol to fondle his wiener. And that wasn't the truth. Actually, that's not true, Heather.
I don't know.
Bless your heart, me neither. Wouldn't want to. But that's what he's doing, correct?
Looks like it.
And in fact,
those were marked for ID, or were they not?
They were. I didn't even mark them because I'm not going to introduce them. I don't want to. I'd rather not have them in evidence in any way. If the court's record would be cleaner if I marked them for ID, I'm happy to do it.
No, at this point, they're not marked. You showed them I suppose if you're showing them to the witness, they should probably be marked for ID.
If they are to be marked for ID, I would ask that the one that she was not able to identify her son be removed from that pile.
That's fine. I can do that.
Thank you.
If you saw those photos, that would not be something that you would necessarily want law enforcement to see your son doing, correct?
I don't have a problem with law enforcement seeing my son drinking.
But in fact, you needed to make sure.
So if you don't have, so now this gets to the bigger question, babes. If you didn't have a problem and it wasn't frat boy behavior for your son to be drinking, this wasn't what you were concerned about. That doesn't make him a bad kid. I don't care. So what? He's at the bottom of a luge. He's shotgunning. He's drunk. He's had too much to drink in this picture. Then what was the frat boy behavior that you did get rid of? Come on, Heather. Then what was it?
That the police had a particular view of your son before that phone was turned over, and that did not fit with that view, i.e. your 18-year-old boy being plied with alcohol by an older man.
Can you ask me that again? Because
Sure.
I think you're setting it up in a way that...
You wanted to make sure that your story, that your son was plied with alcohol by an older man, was believable. These photographs might not play into that story very well,
No, you're
correct?
mistaken. That was not my motivation. I was a mother who was looking through her son's phone for time, and I saw a few things that concerned me.
The fact of the matter is, Miss Unruh, you know, and you knew then that your son had a drinking issue.
He
even
didn't have a
underage.
drinking issue.
Isn't it true that while he was at college, and I won't even mention the college for privacy concerns, while he was at college, he's already been cited for underage drinking, correct?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You may not know. Let me ask it that way. Are you aware that your son underage drinking while at college?
No.
Would that give you concern if you were aware?
I would object to that, Your Honor.
State.
Ms. Unruh, how many overall, if you were to guess, how many messages, photographs, Snapchats, videos, whatever, did you delete from the phone before handing it over to Trooper Donovan?
Not many. There were just...
Babes, just wondering if you could shotgun that like button for me, okay? Like we're Heather Unruh deleting photos off her son's phone.
Just a couple of things that concerned me that I spoke to Willow, because as a mom, when I see my son doing something that I don't think he needs to be doing, I had conversation with him about it. And so it was an important teachable moment, in my opinion.
Oh, fuck.
And I was concerned with the video. I don't know a mom out there who would not have done the same thing.
You mean delete text before handing, or delete data before handing the phone over to the police?
It was not relevant to the case. I didn't touch anything that was in the case.
Ms. Unruh, you were not the gatekeeper, were you?
Amen.
The police were the gatekeeper. And God forbid, we might be the gatekeeper, or the judge might be the gatekeeper. You understand that, right?
I'm beginning to understand that now.
You don't get to pick, Ms. Unruh, what's deleted and what's not deleted and what the defense sees, do you?
Do you think something 2 years after a sexual assault is relevant to the case?
If the allegations are untrue, every bit of data is relevant, ma'am.
The allegations are not untrue.
We'll see. And you've been advised by your counsel that was appointed this morning that under Massachusetts law that it is illegal to in any way delete, alter, manipulate any object, any data, anything with the intent that that record of that object's integrity is somehow affected before it's handed to the police. That's a felony offense. You're aware of that, correct? Yes or no? Are you aware of
The attorney
that?
has spoken to me about
You
it.
don't need to talk about what you spoke about with the attorney, but if you can answer that question, yes or no.
I'm beginning to see that now, yes.
And in fact, let's talk about the phone. In order to get to the bottom of what was and was not deleted on that phone, would you agree with me, Ms. Unruh, that the very best evidence of that would be the phone itself?
I object to that, unless there's some basis she has in what phones can and
I
can't
gave
do.
the phone
Don't
over.
answer unless the
Hang
judge tells you.
hang on. You know what? She can testify. I don't know the answer to that. And if that's her answer.
You don't know, you don't know.
Ask me the question again, please.
You would agree with me that the very best evidence
We'll go
of what
walk
was and was not deleted or not deleted from that phone would be the phone itself, correct?
Yes. In hindsight, I would say
Ms. Unruh, let's talk about the phone. When was the last time you saw the phone?
when I gave it to Trooper Donovan.
Were you home when Trooper Donovan, well, you weren't in here, but if Trooper Donovan, apparently you could hear through the walls, if you heard Trooper Donovan testify, you heard him say, hey, look, I walked it back to the house and gave it to Nick or Will, right? Meaning Will Little. Sorry, they're both Will Little. Your son, right?
My husband goes by Nick and my son goes by Will.
Understood. You heard him say, I gave it back, right?
I didn't hear that.
Okay. Did you ever receive
But
the
I
phone
know
back?
he does, but I know he does say that.
Okay.
And my husband doesn't recall him doing it.
And my question is to you, did you ever get that phone back from any law enforcement official?
No.
Was that phone ever in the house again after you handed it to
Not
Trooper
to my
Donovan?
knowledge, no. In fact, when it was ordered in the court, I sort of chuckled out loud about it and said, well, that's ridiculous because the prosecution's had it since I turned it over to them. It's never been back in our possession.
Except that you've learned that the prosecution says they didn't have it. They gave it back to you folks.
I learned that.
Did you ever have a conversation with Nick Little about getting rid of that phone?
Getting rid of the phone?
Getting rid of the phone.
Absolutely not.
Did you ever have a conversation with your son about getting rid of that phone?
Absolutely not. No one wants that phone more than we do.
Well, I beg to differ.
Oh, that was the moment. That was what sent me to the moon, babes. To the moon, Alice. I go, shut the fuck up. She goes, no one wants that phone more than we do. And AJ hits her back with, I disagree. Because he wants that phone. They want to get to the bottom of it because he believes that Kevin Spacey is being absolutely, it's a schmear. It's a schmear campaign on him. He didn't ask for it. This isn't a bagel and locks looking for a schmear. Fuck that noise. It ruined his career. Okay? Heather, unruly, is over here just doing, a performance of a lifetime. Donna Sue Adelson might be interested in hiring you to play her in the made-for-TV movie. But this is bullshit, Heather. And it's upsetting because I loved you.
It's central to the case. We turned it over because it was central to the case and no one wants that phone found more than we do.
You turned it over because it was central to the case after you were able to manipulate certain things on the phone, correct? Yes or no?
I deleted a couple of
Yes or no?
videos. Well, you're making it sound sinister and there was no intent on my part.
The answer
Babe, it's not sinister. It's nefarious. Are you new here? Thank you.
is yes or no. You gave it to the police after you manipulated the data on the phone.
That is true, and I told them immediately that I had done it. It's not like I was trying to hide anything.
At the time that you handed the phone over to the police, after it had been manipulated, there had been no case filed, correct? Remember, we're talking about
No. There had
November-
been no case filed.
December 18th.
Right, no.
And in point of fact, the case wasn't filed for another year after that. Isn't that right?
It was a long time.
And you knew that the prosecution was going to base its assessment of this case in no small part on the data from the phone, correct?
Yes.
That's why they wanted it.
Sure. That's why we wanted them to have it too.
I just have one final question about the phone. Miss Unruh, where is it?
I have no idea where it is.
And apparently we'll never know, right?
Objection.
Sustained.
Miss Unruh.
Wow. The phone is missing. There was deleted messages by Mother Heather Unruh, our local legend. Oh, heartbroken, knife in my chest, twisted. Will Little is a little fucking fuckface. Okay? Doing God knows what at Delaware State. Just deleting his videos because they were so concerning to his mother. It concerned me. I've never looked at my son's phone before. And I was looking for a video of him being groped by a celebrity. And what did I find? Nude pics of girls. Ages, let's not say. Drug paraphernalia, possibly cocaine and marijuana. All sorts. It didn't even bother her. It didn't even raise a concern or a red flag when she's looking through all the videos to see all of the alcohol because she left all of that in. If you left in the underage drinking and the racist Venmo comments and everything else, God only fucking imagine what it was that she did delete. Because she never thought that that would give her kid a bad time. There's a lot there, loveys. And right after this, it was dismissed. Dismissed with, well, no, it was no load. Okay. So they just got rid of it. And there was a civil suit, and the civil suit was thrown out too. Alan Jackson, first of his name, and Liza Little. Wow. I wanted to show that to you guys this Sunday service morning because it kind of gives context and it shows us. And I know that we know things. We know that, like, yeah, all right, this kind of is pattern-ish. But this was another person who is well known. This is another woman who had power, a woman who had power, different than a man in power, like Brian Albert and his reality TV show. But when you have that generational pull and that name and that recognition, things that are expected of you are not what would be expected of me. Now, had this been my kid, let's say shoe on other foot. I am Kimmy UNRUH, and I am not on television, but my kid has a alleged incident at a restaurant with a celebrity, and I don't report it for a year or over a year. And then when the police come to my house, I say, ooh, yeah, ooh, because she did tell them that I deleted frat boy activities. She says it. And they go, no problem, babe. They go, They go, have the featherhead. We love you. You can't do anything wrong. You're totally fine. We get it. Boys will be boys. And to me, they would have said, well, your kid, it didn't happen. That didn't happen then. Because we're not even moving forward with anything criminal because you manipulated and deleted information from a cell phone that is crucial to a case. And they probably would have said, do you want to go through this? Because that's a very, very Mass State Police sentiment. For women of domestic violence, for any sort of there's just things that they will use against you and say, that could be embarrassing. Would your family like to be embarrassed today? And a lot of us with Irish Catholic guilt, all the things, say, I'm going to shut the fuck up because I don't want to embarrass my family. Even if a crime had been committed. So we need to stop that. We have to do better at feeling that way or having those emotions, loveys, that like prevent us from doing what is the right thing because of fear of your reputation, your family's reputation. If something bad happens, no matter what, be there to support one another and say, you can stand up. You can stand for yourself. You would stand up for others, but sometimes when it's ourselves, you're just like, oh, I'm afraid. In those opportunities and in those times of fear, that's when we rise up together. And you shouldn't be afraid. If somebody is hurting you, do not be afraid. You should be able to come forward. And I love your faces. So that's Sunday service. But AJ was incredible. I don't remember seeing that on TV, loveys. I don't remember it at all. And I think that we are seeing now patterns. And it's not just Norfolk adjacent. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it. Tammy Glassnip Simon says, when AJ was questioning the dad, it was something else. You're telling me? You're telling me, Tammy. 10 out of 10. Sopranos. Love it. And Lulu Bell, I love you. Have a magical Sunday, lovies. Be good to each other. And I'll see you soon. Thank you for answering my FaceTime. Bye.
All right, great job on the news.
Thank you.
We will, Courtney and I will share what happened when we went to dinner last night, Sunday dinner, coming up. And as